Hello, Ultra Racing fans, and welcome to the Ultra Race Report's coverage of the Hoodoo 500. I'm your host, Jarek Wilhelmsen. Well, here we are in beautiful St. George, Utah, for the start of the 2014 Hoodoo 500. Over the next few days, we'll be bringing you coverage from some of the most beautiful parts of the country. So let's just jump right into it. The start of the Hoodoo 500 is located in St. George, Utah, at the Best Western Abbey Inn. The route is a loop which takes riders through some of the most majestic scenery along Zion National Park, Bryce Canyon National Park, Dixie National Forest, and Red Cliffs National Conservation Area. In order to appreciate the scenery, this year race director Deborah Bolin has added a stage race.
Every year it has sort of made me feel a little melancholy that the racers are on this amazing road that they don't get to see because it's nighttime, and that's Utah Highway 12, which starts basically right before Bryce and goes all the way to Torrey, Utah, and it's considered one of the most scenic highways in the entire world. So it just turned out to be 3 pretty good ultra distance rides. 200 miles, about 175 miles, then about 150 miles. And I just thought it would appeal to an audience that doesn't really like to ride at night, plus they get to see the route.
Because of its multiple days, the stage race leaves a day earlier. Therefore, the racer check-in, inspection, and pre-race meeting happened Thursday night. This year, 8 solos and 1 tandem have decided to take on the challenge. Friday morning, August 22nd, at 7 a.m., the stage racers lined up at the starting line. Rider Lap Lai told us a little bit about his favorite bike.
Well, this is one of my favorite bikes, and I use it for many long-distance rides, many double century, 24-hour time trial, and race across Oregon for the Creek Fireway. Very comfy bike. I also have another one just in case I need for a steep climb. So it's my baby. It's never failed me on my race.
After some last-minute directions and exchanges of pleasantries, the racers took off.
See you later, Tim.
Love you. See you, babe.
Get him, Alexi.
Once we hit the road, if it wasn't apparent before, it was obvious now that we are in southern Utah approaching Hoodoo country. In case you didn't know, Hoodoos are those large columns of red rocks that are so prevalent out here. The first rider we caught up to was Mandy Miller, as she was starting the first climb just out of Hurricane, Utah. As the racers continued to move forward, the course dipped down into Arizona for a few miles before making its way back into Utah and Time Station 1 in Kanab. Racer Doug Stolhand was definitely enjoying the ride.
It's gorgeous, absolutely spectacular. Nice and cool. I thought it was going to be hotter, but it's not.
Normally in ultras, it's not uncommon for one racer to take a commanding lead, but not this year. Leading the front of the pack were racers Mike Coughlin and Al Thresher, who are neck and neck as they reached high speeds on the downhill just past Time Station 1. And it's not a surprise that at the end of day 1 of the stage race, Mike Coughlin of Ontario, Canada, and Al Thresher of Las Vegas, Nevada are leading the pack. They've made it 207 miles to Time Station 3 in Escalante in just 10 hours and 21 minutes. The lead female at the end of day 1 is Rachel Monderer of Johnson City, Tennessee, with a time of 13 hours 36 minutes. And the lead 50-plus male is Doug Stolhand of Menominee, Wisconsin, with a time of 12 hours and 30 minutes. Back in St. George, the traditional Hoodoo 500 racers began to arrive. Registration was full of activity with racers checking in, getting their jerseys, having their racer portraits taken, and also bike inspection. It takes an elite ultra athlete to complete the solo Hoodoo 500, but the truly hardcore go for the Voyager division, which means they are self-supported with no crew. Racer Dave Haase from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, recently won the race across Oregon and is now one of the hardcore doing this on his own. Some other racers to look out for include Colin Stokes, who is racing solo, Janet Christensen, who is actually the first person to complete the Voyager division. The 2-person team Metal Spy Ultra Racing are shooting for their own record. And in the 4-person division, the 70-plus team Grizz are truly inspiring. So there you go, folks. The stage race has started, and the continuous 500 starts bright and early Saturday morning. Over the next couple of days, we will be bringing you coverage of the race as it continues. So make sure to keep checking back. You can like us on Facebook at Ultra Racing Network or on Twitter at Ultra Race Report. And until then, we'll see you out there. This presentation was brought to you by Zoetic Photography. International award-winning California photographer John Wilhelmsen specializes in portraiture, fine art, and compositions. Learn more at www.zoeticimagery.com.